Hey guys, it's me, Waifu Belector, and we've just come out of a week of all kinds of showcases and video game announcements. Within all of those announcements, we had the good, the bad, and the ugly. But today, I want to hone in on two games from the Xbox Game Showcase. Those two games are Avowed and Hellblade 2, because I feel that these two games have some red flags going up. However, both games present very different red flags. So what I'm gonna do is talk about what I think those red flags are and if they should be cause for alarm for either game. And real quick before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy. I really appreciate it. But okay, let's talk about some games. Now I do want to say that I thought the Xbox Showcase was good. We got a good amount of gameplay, saw a lot of games, but it wasn't without its hitches. And one that stuck out like a sore thumb to me was the gameplay reveal of Avowed. I mean guys, are we gonna talk about Avowed, or are we all gonna shrink and cower and act like it looks fine? This is a huge red flag. The game does not look good. It displays all the design sensibilities of an Xbox 360 PS3 era game. I mean, I know this is supposed to be Obsidian's Skyrim, but you weren't actually supposed to just make Skyrim again. And honestly, that's an insult to the 12-year-old Skyrim, because Avowed's horrible art direction make it actually present worse than Skyrim, even by 2023 standards. And there's no reason for a game that releases in 2024 to look so at home sitting next to a game from 2011. As it stands now, Avowed looks fucking embarrassing. Terrible art direction, terrible art design, terrible graphics, and the gameplay looks unimaginative and dated. I cannot find a saving grace for what we saw. And listen, I know it's Obsidian making Avowed, and oh, we love Obsidian, we have to. They made Fallout New Vegas, they're amazing. But are they though? How long do they get to coast off of the love for Fallout New Vegas? They also made The Outer Worlds, a game that was supposed to be their Fallout. But what was The Outer Worlds? It's an okay game at best that leans closer to being bad than good. And now we're looking at Avowed and what that appears to be. I think we've got to face it, people. Obsidian are not those guys. They aren't the ones. I get it. They got lucky. They caught one with Fallout New Vegas, but their track record is finicky as all hell. And when I take what I know about them, what I know about games like The Outer Worlds, and what we just saw with Avowed, it does not inspire confidence in Avowed. But you know, there's always a chance. Maybe the gameplay of the game is more inventive and more satisfying than it looks. Maybe Obsidian makes some changes in response to this trailer's reception. These things can happen, but I wouldn't count on it. I think in the case of Avowed, we certainly have something to be worried about. But okay, let's move on. Let's talk about Hellblade 2. Because this game's red flags are nowhere near as damning as Avowed. But when it comes to Hellblade 2, we've seen it, 3 times now? The reveal CG trailer, then the quote-unquote gameplay video where we see a big cinematic set piece with a giant, and now we've got this most recent showing, which was just a cinematic. And I understand that the game isn't coming out until next year, but still, for us to have seen this game 3 times, we really haven't seen anything. We haven't seen any of what us as the players will be doing. And so now enter my worry. My worry is that they are in fact showing us what we'll be doing, and that it is mostly watching. Because listen, the first Hellblade was an okay game. It garnered most of its attention because it was an indie game that looked AAA, but most of the game's budget went into looking AAA. So what was on offer as gameplay in the game was very sparse and very minimalistic. It almost played like a mobile game with puzzles. I don't know if anyone remembers this mobile game called Infinity Blade, but Hellblade 1 had big Infinity Blade vibes. So yeah, because their budget went into the presentation and most of the effort went into an admittedly unforgettable depiction of psychosis, the actual game part of the game was kind of left hanging. And that's what had me so excited after playing the first Hellblade, because now that they'd gotten so much attention, now that they have Microsoft in their corner, the potential for what Hellblade 2 could be went through the roof. Now you'll have the budget to have good gameplay on top of improving everything else that you already did well. But now, after this latest showcase, I'm worried that they're simply doubling down on what the first game was instead of actually building more onto it. Every time a Ninja Theory dev talks, it's about mocap or facial rigs and acting performances, and no one ever talks about the game. I'm hearing a lot of reasons why the game is a technical feat and nothing about why the game is a good game. That worries me a little. However, this is way less marring of a red flag than Avowed. Ninja Theory just may not be ready to show us the Hellblade 2 actual gameplay. Hopefully that's the case, and hopefully when they do, it looks great. But alright, that's pretty much all I want to talk about, just a quick little video. I know you're probably ready to fire up the keyboard and tell me how amazing Avowed looks. That's fine, go for it. In fact, everyone feel free to let me know how you feel about either of these games. Do you feel like there's anything to be worried about, or do you feel like both games are on the right track? Let me know. I'm sure you won't hesitate to hop in the comments and try and tell me how stupid and wrong I am. That's fine, but if you just enjoyed the video, then hey, why not give a like? And I'd be grateful if you subscribed. But okay, until next time, I am Waifu Belector. I am just a normal guy. I like hentai, and I don't like red flags. Goodbye.